once you have those marked, and I'm going to stand in front of the camera here. Sorry, I'm right-handed, so it's just easier for me to do this way. But carry these lines around using your finger as a fence. These guys here, it's a little hard to use your finger as a fence, so just trace them in. The back can be very different. This is one place on the back that really deviates from ball and claw to ball and claw. Some have the knuckle real high and are really cut in. Others, have a low knuckle and just a gradual sweep in here. And that's the case on this one. So I think they would call out actually forgot to write it down. So I'm going to measure it off one of the other ones to add that to the drawing. Say about 3/4 of an inch. So, and the bottom is 3/8. So it's not much different. Not much different from the front ones. All right. With that, we've got most of our layout done. So the process for creating these toenails on here is pretty easy. And these can be done a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you the Gene Landon way. He essentially starts by cutting just a straight ramp from that 3/8 inch line down to the diameter at the floor, the inner diameter line at the bottom. Okay, now, next thing you want to do is, I'm going to reposition the camera, bear with me. Okay, next thing you want to do is take this center line, put a center line on the top, and connect those two. Essentially you want a center line on your claw. Now take the bench chisel. And by the way, the leg will have a tendency to twist, so be a little careful. But just kind of gently push in a stop cut here. There we go. Now come in, and what we're going to do is we're going to just carve like a top of a tent down here. So start way up on the end, just make small little slices. Don't push too hard because you'll end up slicing off your talon. You don't want to do that. Just make some paper thin cuts and you can come in and remove those. Okay. So what you want to do ultimately is you want to terminate right on the ball out here, terminate on the ball there, and then have the peak be right at the top. There we go. Alright, next thing we want to do is make like a little diamond. When we get done, there should be a diamond left. We're just going to start at the very bottom of the ball and just kind of make cuts that are ultimately going to connect from this point, get a pointer, from right here to the center line where it meets the break, the inner diameter. Again, these are really thin cuts, just like paper. Okay. Now you could remove that. So now what we're left with is I think Gene calls it a chevron moment, but there's like a little chevron symbol left here. We'll zoom in and you can take a look at it. Well, there's our chevron. You could remove this material out here now, but I like to leave it there because the next step sometimes bangs into the ball and claw. I don't like the chisel marks in the ball and claw, or the ball, sorry, not in the claw, but the ball. So now what we want to do is pare away this face. So what I want is a ridge that stays on this pencil line, and then I want one face, one facet that goes straight down and connects that point to that point. So my triangle that's left goes here, here, here. So I'll peel this face away. You can see it happen. So notice how I'm kind of banging into the ball at the very bottom. I like leaving the remnants of that previous cut so they kind of act as a buffer. Alright, so there, got that one. I'll do the same thing on this side, I'm going to reposition. Hopefully you can see. There we go. So there's my little toenail. Now I could just carve off the excess. Come back over. And carve that right down to the inner diameter line. There we go. There's my claw.